This grandfather's heartbreaking decision to euthanize his loyal dog takes an unexpected twist. Does real love have the strength to withstand the gravity of the last choice? Come along as we untangle the tragic story of a loving grandfather who must decide whether to euthanize his cherished companion or set out on a perilous trip full of twists and turns. Can you anticipate the story's emotional arc? Elder Jacob loves the pet. The elderly guy's face was etched with grief as he carefully cradled his cherished dog Buddy in his arms. "I'm sorry, Buddy," the man sobbed. As a result of the severe toll that his sickness was taking on his body, the formerly vivacious and active canine now lay feeble and emaciated. The veterinary clinic was a site where a great number of people had said their final goodbyes to the animals that had been such devoted friends to them throughout their lives. The dedicated owner of Buddy understood that the time had come to make the terrible choice to put an end to his companion's misery. As he patted the dog's head and whispered words of love and comfort to it, tears started to fill his eyes. It was clear that they had a strong connection, which had been developed over the course of many years of experiencing happiness and excitement together. The compassionate and kind veterinarian gave the man reassurance that what he was doing was appropriate and would spare Buddy from experiencing any additional suffering. The elderly man gave the signal with a heavy heart, and as the veterinarian injected the final dose, a sense of serenity flowed over the room. The guy's heart was heavy since he knew he was about to lose his pet. Buddy was comforted till the very end by the affection of the person who had been his loyal companion until the very end of his life. He passed away in peace. The vet's inspection. Buddy, the lovely golden retriever, was inspected by the vet, who is an experienced expert with a calm manner. The vet's brow wrinkled as he performed the exam. The concern could be seen on the face of the veterinarian as they attentively examined Buddy's symptoms. After being subjected to a battery of diagnostic procedures, it was determined that Buddy was suffering from a severe infection that posed a significant risk to his life. The worried owner of Buddy was given an explanation by the veterinarian, who emphasized the seriousness of the condition and the necessity of beginning treatment as soon as possible and continuing it for as long as was necessary. Unfortunately, the treatment that was necessary was costly, which added even another dimension of concern for the proprietor. The owner's love for Buddy overcame any concerns about the expense, and they made the decision to move forward with the recommended therapy. They did this with a full awareness that Buddy's health was the most important thing. They were reassured by the veterinarian that if they gave Buddy the right treatment and medication, he had a high chance of making a full recovery. Due to the fact that Buddy's life was in jeopardy, his owner made up his mind to do whatever it took in order to bring their much-loved Buddy back to full health. The devastation of Jacob for the pet. Jacob, an elderly man with a kind and easygoing personality, discovered that he was in a situation that broke his heart. Unfortunately, his much-loved friend, a devoted and lovable dog named Max, became very ill and required expensive medical attention. However, Jacob was under a significant amount of financial pressure, and as a result, he was unable to provide essential care for his much-loved four-legged companion. Jacob's heart sank as he began to comprehend the gravity of the issue and the possibility that he would have to give up Max. The connection they had was indescribable, and the thought of being separated from his devoted friend caused a severe ache in his chest. The tie they shared was unbreakable. Max had been there for Jacob through thick and thin, providing steadfast friendship and devotion in Jacob's later years when he was in his golden years. Jacob felt like he was imprisoned in a condition of powerlessness despite his best efforts to seek assistance or investigate alternative options. Every minute that was spent with Max was now tinged with melancholy because of the imminent death that was looming over them. Jacob, who was wrecked with despair, clung to the hope that some sort of miracle would make it possible for him to save the precious life that he valued so highly. Free treatment by a pet. The sensitive and perceptive veterinarian couldn't help but take note of the extraordinary bond that existed between Jacob and Buddy, the cherished canine friend. As they entered the clinic, the veterinarian saw how Buddy's eyes lit up with happiness upon seeing Jacob, and how Jacob's face softened with the tenderness as he rubbed his fuzzy friend's head. Both of these reactions were seen by the veterinarian. It couldn't be denied that the two of them were inseparable. During the examination of Buddy by the veterinarian, it was clear that the two of them shared a profound bond. Buddy appeared to place his complete faith in Jacob, and Jacob in turn was sensitive to Buddy's requirements at all times. The veterinarian was unable to deny the psychological weight of their connection and was aware of the strength of their friendship that was a source of healing in and of itself. The veterinarian came to this conclusion after being moved to admiration by the exceptional bond that existed between them. They made the generous offer to provide the required medical care for Buddy completely free of charge, realizing that such a selfless effort would secure the continuation of the priceless link that Jacob shares with his devoted four-legged Buddy. Buddy's surgery. Jacob, who is dedicated to Buddy, his four-legged companion, went in for an important procedure that had him on edge with worry. Buddy is a faithful companion. Since the first day they met, they had formed an unbreakable bond with one another, and it was quite upsetting to see Buddy in such a precarious situation. Jacob's concern increased as the clock ticked away, the hours throughout the operation, because it was a delicate process. At long last, there was some good news to report. After the successful completion of the treatment, Buddy was released. Jacob was hit with a surge of relief, which was immediately followed by an overwhelming sense of elation. When he entered the recovery room and found Buddy sleeping soundly, the feeling of appreciation that was already present in his heart grew even stronger. In the days that followed, Jacob did not leave Buddy's side, and he assisted Buddy in his recovery in any way he could. Buddy's strength and attitude began to improve in a manner that was both gradual and consistent. Jacob's joy was so overwhelming that he could barely contain it as he watched the recovery of his much-loved Buddy. Jacob's heart burst with overpowering delight and a profound sense of appreciation when he saw Buddy wag his tail and nuzzle against him for the second time. Jacob was relieved to have his closest companion by his side once more. Vet becomes their friend. When Jacob looked over at his much-loved dog Buddy, who was recuperating from life-saving surgery, he felt an overwhelming sense of thankfulness spring up inside of him. Jacob felt obligated to show his gratitude to the talented veterinarian who had put in a lot of effort to ensure that Buddy would make a full recovery. When he contacted the vet with a genuine offer to pay for the services given, she smiled and politely declined his offer while shaking her head. Jacob was moved by her generosity, but the vet was adamant in her refusal to budge. Instead, she suggested that they keep each other up to speed on Buddy's condition on a regular basis. The months that followed were crucial in the development of their bond. They supported one another through the highs and lows of life by telling one another tales, laughing together, and sharing experiences. Jacob is thankful not only for Buddy's recovery, but also for having a genuine and loving friend as a result of the selflessness and compassion displayed by the veterinarian. This makes Jacob grateful not only for the healing of Buddy, but also for gaining this Buddy. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel for more.